Have you ever wondered if you can do an online quiz for the purpose of classes or a competition that you are doing? This tutorial is going to teach you how to do a quiz in Google Forms. So let's get right to it. So this tutorial is going to be about how to create a quiz using Google Forms. We have another video that speaks about how to prepare forms and also use Google Form as part of Google Docs, and the link is below as well as here in the notification. So check that out if you are not familiar on how to prepare a form in Google Forms. So I just prepared a quiz, as this time is going to teach you how to do a quiz. The quiz will be called quiz number 1. I add a description to it. This entry is based on this one. You can add a title and description, and that's what I did here. I also ask for an email address to validate in the settings. I'll show you right now. Also the same thing, I added a question on short answer asking the student's name here. That of course will not have a grade, it will just be required as well. I will not have a validation for it, but I wrote a description that says write your first name and last name here. So that's my second part of the quiz. Third, then I got into the questions, and the first question is just a sample. Lime belongs to the species, so I give the students multiple choices. Here you can use multiple choice setup from the list, and this is the 3. You can also add as much as you want, you can add, and this is also required, as well as you can have a description. I ask it to be shuffling all the options, so these will not be the same for all the students, but it will be the same, answers, but they are not in the same order. I also try to use another question, which is a short answer, just like before, but this one for a grade. And I added a condition of validation here. So the response validation will be text, because we could add text that contains the answer that I'm looking for, which is coconut in this case. And if the students got this wrong answer, then it will just say you got the wrong answer. Basically, that's a response to the students when they make a mistake, and we'll try that. The following are cultivars of date palm, and here is, you could have checkboxes, so you can answer more than one choice. Here is in multiple choices, there's only one choice, but here you can have more than one. And here I did not add any validation or description. I just had the options again in very different orders for our students. This is also required. So this is basically my sample questions that I'm going to use the quiz. The responses are not there yet, but once I receive them, they will be shown here. Again, you can go back to the other tutorial on how to deal with responses. Anyways, I added a design for the questions from here. As I mentioned before, you could add it from the theme. I selected this theme and the same colors, and you could change these colors anytime you like. Here you review the form, and before I do that, I go to the settings, and I ask it to collect email addresses, so I know the response of each student I get from each of them. You can also response receipt. That means the student will get a copy of his responses or her responses through her email, but I did not have that option on. I limited in this case to just one response, so respondents will be required to sign into Google, and there will be only one response per student. So students of course will have to have an account in Google. If you keep this off, there is no limitation on the number of responses. So I'll keep it off for now because I will do more than one response. Respondents can also edit after submit. You can have that option, but because it is a quiz, if it is a normal form, yes. But if you want the option for the students to change their mind after they have submitted the quiz, then you take that one. Usually you don't want to have that in a case of quiz. Also, you don't want them to see a summary of other students' work or their responses, so I keep these two off, unlike when they fill a survey form, when this is sometimes important. In the presentation, I wanted to see their progress as they fill the form. Usually that is if there is more than one section and more than one page, because you could have more than one section. So the first page will show like 3 questions, second page will show 3 questions, then you see the progress bar. Of course, you can shuffle questions, that's fine. And then if they will respond, because in my case I will respond more than one time, but usually you remove this, you don't leave it there, because they will only respond only one time. And then here you can type thank you for response, thank you for doing quiz 1. So basically that's how it's going to be. Here is the settings for the quiz. You can make this quiz. This is the only thing you do. This is the difference between a survey form and a quiz form. So you make this a quiz, and now you can assign values to each of the questions, and students would see the grade right after they are done, after they finish the submission, or you can have them later. You review it and then you send them their grades. In this case, we'll leave it immediately after each submission. You will be able to see your grades. You can also see any questions that you have missed, correct or wrong answers, and your points. Once you tick the make this a quiz, you will have to go back and assign values for each quiz. So if I go back here, the first question is a name, but it will still, you will have answer key and points. Of course, there will be no points for the name. But here, for example, I have to set the correct answer. In this case, the correct answer will be C, and I can give the students here for this, let's say, 5 points. Okay, so now that is done. So this is my answer, and it's not shown here, but it shows here. But when the students fill the form, then it's going to be, you can also add an image as part of the multiple choices. Here, the same thing. You give the correct answer. The correct answer, we already had it, and I'll give them, for example, here 10 points, and the correct answer will be coconut. And if they made a mistake, then they would, all other answers will be incorrect. Only this one will be the correct one. So that is that. So now this is the answer to this question. So that's 10 points. Here I would have to also prepare the answer key. These two are cultivars of date palm, and of course the points here, let's say, we'll give them again like 10 points. Okay, you can also answer feedback as well. Let's say, for example, if you have incorrect answers, you missed 2 cultivars, for example, if they only did 1. And if they did very well, you could say great job, just to show you what the responses will be like for a quiz. So that's how it's going to be. And then I'm done now with making all the changes. I have 10 points here, and here we will have 10 points as well, and here I will have 5 points, so total 25, because this will be 0. That's it. So this is my form now ready. Could probably review it here. This is how it's going to be. So this is now technically done. So this is quiz 1. That's how it is, and then I can now send it to my students from here. So you can send it to all the students. So there is my student, and that will actually be me. Okay, so this is 1, and this is my second email. So at least I'll get 2 emails for this quiz. So this quiz, you are invited to do the quiz. All right, so that's how it is. And you can include the form in the email or have it in the link. You could do both. So we will just have them link it and come here. You can also, of course, send the link alone or embed in a web page like Moodle or anywhere else. You can do it here. You can embed HTML in Moodle, but I will send them an email instead of doing that. So now my email is sent. So let's suppose to go and check my email, see if I received my email. So let's see. I haven't yet got it. So I will wait until I get it. Let me see the other email. It's already sent. There you go. At least I got one. This is how they are going to get it. Quiz 1. They all have to do, they just click here, and then you go here and say your email. Okay, and then you answer. Let's say you are answer. See it. This was the last question because it's shuffled. Now it is the first questions, and the order is also different. So let me do these two. I will answer it today correctly, and it also shuffled my name. It shouldn't have shuffled this one. I should have fixed, but anyways, it's there now for now. So coconut here, and let's say this is citrus, and then let's see how is my score. As you can see, I answered this correctly. It says great job. I got 10 out of 10. And here I don't get anything because that's my name. And also here correct, it is coconut, and I got also 10 out of 10. And here I got the full mark as well. So this is how you mark it. My total point is 25 out of 25. So that's how the students will view this one. Obviously, you will get the responses in the form itself. So if you go back here to the Google Forms and you see the responses, you already seen that when students already answer the questions. Okay, and here is the score. This is the total grade, 25. So there's the 25. This is the first student who did it. Okay, and so I'm still waiting for a response from my other email. So hopefully I got this email as well, but for some reason I did not receive it. So let's forget about my second email. I don't know why. Maybe because I created with that email, and that's why I did not get it. So if I can submit another response with a different email, then that would be cool, because I wanted to make a mistakes here. Let's say this one, and here is a palm. I don't know the answer, for example. Obviously I know my name, and then I say here all of this. Let me do at least one right. So I submit this one, and again it says wrong answer. So this is a required questions, and I have to do it. It would not let me. So in this case, I have to do not required if I'm not going to get it straight. So otherwise it's not going to submit my quiz. So this is wrong. And here it is right, 10 out of 10. Here I got 5 out of 5. So I have this question. I got 15 out of 25. Okay, anyways, this is how you prepare the quiz, and you send it to students and set the questions. And here you could see I already have my scores with the average, and this is the responses and the scores. They're all listed here, and you could have two names, and here I have the answers by both students. There you go. So one answered this and the other one answered that. There you go. So I could see him actually showing to my students. So if I go individual here, this is the first student. This is his answers, which are correct. He got 25 out of 25. This is the second student. He got 15 out of 25, and this is his email. And here is his name. So you can see now, you could print this. You could actually click here, and you'll get an Excel sheet of all the responses that you can download and keep. There you go. Everything is set. The email addresses of the students, their names are here, their score is here, and you get the citrus, coconut, and all the answers to all the questions. All you need is actually these two. So that's it. And then you can always go ahead and download this as Microsoft Excel if you decide it, or share it with other students if you like. That's basically it. This is how you do a quiz in Google Forms, and it is very useful and helpful tool. I hope you enjoyed this short presentation on using Google Forms to prepare a quiz. Thank you for following, and please subscribe, like, and share this information. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.